dolls, Kenny here.
And I am Anastasia Beaverhausen. It's like, honey, what's this? What's going on? What's going on?
Oh, I miss her so much. You bringing back memories.
I'm so ready for the reboot. When they did the whole election day thing, I was like, it's almost like 10 years hasn't passed or however many
It
years
really
passed.
was. It was like you just tuned into the next week's episode. It was so nice. Like nothing had changed. But I mean, of course, they got a little bit older. But their character was still the fucking same.
Megan Mullally is looking great. That bitch has lost all that weight. She has
First of all,
been
everything
in the
she
gym.
plays in, everything she plays in, she is just a fucking mess, and I love it so much.
I absolutely love her on Bob's Burgers. Like,
Yeah.
she murders me on Bob's Burgers, especially with that the lady that was singing about the oil spill
Yes.
that was about her vagina.
But anyway, as we get off topic again, hey doll, this is Kenny and Chemo here for episode 2 of Pop Talk. I'm gonna just go ahead and hop into my first topic. Or do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Go ahead, child.
Since you did it last time, and bitch, you don't run this. I'm sure as most people have heard, because it's been all over the news, Trump, of course, dropped a bomb on Afghanistan. And
I don't know much detail about this, so I'm gonna get my source for this news from you because I know that he did it. I just don't know a lot of the details of it.
well, basically, they named the bomb the mother of all bombs because it is the biggest bomb in the U.S. artillery. Mm-hmm. It weighs about 22,000 pounds, and it's so big that it cannot fit on a U.S. warplane. So they have to offload it from the rear of a cargo plane with the help of a parachute. It was originally tested back in 2003, and it cost about $16 million
Child.
and another $300 million just to develop it. Basically, the bomb was targeted to a system of tunnels and caves that ISIS used to target U.S. military advisors. And the bomb's primary use was to make it so Afghan and U.S. troops could have less of a disadvantage when fighting, because ISIS was using these tunnels to sneak up on bitches.
I do know the little bit that I did hear about it, I remember seeing, like, I guess he was doing an interview with, I don't know the lady's name, but I know Trump was doing an interview with somebody, and he was talking about what he was doing while he was preparing to, like, tell them to drop the bomb and everything, and he went into this fucking little, not a tangent, but he just went into, like, great detail about this cake that he was eating at the time. Like, it just mattered not to him that he just fucking dropped this bomb. He was just like, oh, I just had the best cake that you've ever seen. And he was like talking about the size of it, and it was like the most scrumptious cake you'd ever have. I'm like, what is important right now, sir? What is important in this discussion?
Trump is that he speaks in circles around every question that anyone asks him. It's like he can never actually give you a straight answer, and it just really, to me, reflects on how much he really knows nothing about anything.
But going off of that, it wasn't about Trump, but there's this case that I wanted to get into just because I saw it and a friend had sent it to me, and I just wanted to get your take on this because it's a bit of a fucking mess. There was this case that was happening back in 2014. Apparently, this boy was having like suicidal thoughts, and he was trying to come out to his girlfriend for help and stuff. And she just like pretty much egged him on the entire way. The reason this brought back up recently is because I think they are like finishing up the case. They've convicted her or whatever. But so the boy was 18, or the boy was 17 going on 18, and she was about a year older than him, and he was texting her, telling her that he had these suicidal thoughts, and she kept on encouraging him to just go through with the suicide. And they finally showed the text messages, and there's this one that I just wanted to read to you, like just a couple of them, because it murdered me. So he texts her, his name is Conrad, and the girl's name is, where is her name? Whatever, it don't matter. His name is Conrad, her name is Michelle. And so he texts her and he's like, how was your day? And the first thing she responds back with is, "When are you gonna do it?" I was done after that. I'm just like, this bitch literally does not care.
And this is his girlfriend?
His girlfriend, yeah. His
And
girlfriend.
she's like, bitch, when you gonna die?
That's essentially what she asked him. Like, that was the first thing she replied with. And so then they text back and forth. He kind of ignores the question. And he's like telling her, "Oh, this is how my day was. It went good." And she's like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "That's great. What did you do?" So then he ended up telling her, like, I went to work, did a little bit of stuff, looked some stuff up, just like basic teenager dumb conversation. And then she's like, "When are you going to do it? Stop ignoring the question." And I'm just like, this bitch. This bitch don't give a single fuck. And so that was just like one day. On the last day that he was going to kill himself, she was like pretty much telling him what to do. She was like, all you have to do is just get in your car, go drive to like a empty parking lot, and I think he was just going to sit there and like let this gas, like some kind of gas that he had, was going to like just envelop the car, and he would die from that. And she, first of all, she looks like a maniac. I just saw her pictures. I'm scrolling down this like text message feed, and she was just telling him how to do it. And like every time he would he would be like, "Oh, I'm scared to do it," or something like that. She would tell him, like, "You don't need to be scared. The more you sit here and think about it, you're not going to do it." And just all this shit, just being a real fucking asshole. Finally, he gets to the point where he's like, "Okay, I'm about to go drive out and do it." So she tells him, "You're the love of my life. I love you so much, blah, blah, blah." And he goes ahead and he kills himself, which I feel like is very just like contradictive. If you love me so much, why are you telling me to go murder myself? But, so after he dies, they find his body or whatever. This bitch makes, or on her Twitter page, she posts, what is this? National Suicide Awareness Day. I wish more people understood. I love you and miss you every day, Conrad. Help others. Then she starts like a GoFundMe page to pay for like, quote unquote, his funeral, which she did not use it for. Just like getting sympathy on Twitter and getting more followers. Like she usually pretty much is used as like a publicity stunt for herself to get more attention. And the reason they found out is because they finally released these text messages from his phone, and now they're prosecuting her as an adult, because of course she was only like 17 or 18 when this happened, but now that it's been 3 fucking years, she can be tried as an adult. So I feel like she fucked herself over fighting this, and should have just went ahead and gave it the fuck up to be tried as a juvenile and not be given so many years. But it was just bizarre to me. I'm gonna send you the case because I want you to see all the text messages. She was just fucking ruthless, and I could not deal with the shit she was saying to him as I was reading through
I just don't get what she's getting out of his death. I mean, I guess she got some money out of it, because I'm quite sure none of that money went to his funeral.
It
And
didn't.
like some 15 minutes of popularity on social media. But I'm just like, was someone's life worth that? But of course nobody's life is worth that. But I'm like, well, why would she, if this is your boyfriend? I could only assume that she hated him if she wanted him to die that badly. Then why are you with him? Why were you with him? Why were you texting him or fucking him or whatever, like for you to dislike this person and want him to die, and egging him
It was
on.
like literally on the day of his death, she was tweeting like 2 things. She had such a beautiful soul, gone too soon, and then a little bit later was like, "I'll remember your bright light and smile. You'll forever be in my heart. Love you, Conrad." And just like, girl, if you don't sit
I honestly
the fuck
think
down.
that she's mentally ill. There's something wrong there. Clearly, of course, all that had to be fake. If she was egging him on to commit suicide, then all of that, whatever that she was trying to do in memoriam for him, had to be fake. But my thing is that she had to have her own mental illness issues, because clearly, for you to do something like that, you can't have any particular respect for life, to egg somebody on to commit suicide.
Yeah. He only confided in her with it. Like, he didn't tell his parents. He didn't tell anybody else. He was just like, came to her because I guess he's in love with her. And he just wanted her to know, like, I'm feeling depressed because of this, and I'm having thoughts that I just want to die. And this bitch just took it and ran.
Yeah, and that really bothers me, and it really hits home for me because my mother attempted suicide about a decade ago, and so I've gone through it, and it's a very shocking and hurtful feeling to know that someone is down that low. And the fact that she helped him go down that dark spiral, all the way down the drain, and and then wanted to reap benefits from it. That's just sick.
Yeah.
It is.
When the text messages were brought up for the prosecution and whatnot, the attorney gonna say they were arguing that it was free speech and protected by the First Amendment and didn't cause the boyfriend to kill himself. And I'm like, are you sure? Did you not read the same text messages that I saw? Because it seems to me that this was the cause. He wanted many times to step out of it, but because she was forcing it so heavily.
Well, I mean, those lawyers get paid to come up with shit like that. So that's what they have to do. Even if they believe, that she should be in jail. I mean, they're being paid to make sure that she doesn't. So, I mean, I don't take too much stock in what any lawyer says in a courtroom, but whatever. But I do, because I feel like there's a lot of things that have been in the news that has been dealing with people who have been having issues with mental problems, and I think that this has not only for Connor, but also for that crazy bitch, because she clearly needs to be in somebody's straitjacket, away from people, because yes,
she should not have any texting privileges anymore.
She should not be allowed around people. If she's capable of that, I mean, that's murder. If she is capable of that,
that's what
at
she's being
17,
charged with. Involuntary manslaughter is her charge.
Yeah, that bitch can do some shit. She needs to be far away from people. And this brings me to also, I saw Lady Gaga and Prince William are like, they have something, I think it's like Head Together, I believe. It's
yeah, I saw that on YouTube the other day. I thought it was a music video at first. I'm like, wait. I didn't know that Prince Harry or Prince William sings.
Right.
So I clicked on it expecting to hear the worst singing possible. And then I saw it coming on and I'm just sitting here like a dummy. I'm like, okay, this is the beginning of the music video. Then they're talking in the Skype chat. I'm like, okay, they're going to get into the music video. And I'm sitting like, okay, this isn't a music video.
Lord, but it's very important, to be self-aware and to get help if you need it. And I can say that, for instance, because I grew up around mental illness, she finally got help before it was too late. I mean, it was getting close. Like I said, she did attempt to commit suicide, but she did realize that she needed help, and she sought it out, and she got help. And now she's doing way better.
That's good. Just on that topic, there is another story that I want to talk about, but it's kind of dealing with mental illness, but I'll get into that after we go through this word from our sponsors.
Looking for a sentence enhancer? Are you interested in discovering a new way to express your disdain for a babbling bitch's conversation? Are you not entirely sure that the bitch is being 100 with you? Then I invite you to enhance your day with a couple of phrases like, bitch, really? Or, I bet you did. Or my personal favorite, girl, no you didn't. If you weren't telling me that right now, bitch, I think you were lying. Sarcasm. Enhance a basic bitch's life.
So, and now that we're back, I'm sure I'm hoping that you've seen this. The Facebook killer.
Yes, I saw that.
Ciao. So, luckily, as of, I want to say, what was it, the 18th? Yeah, as of the 18th, or was it the 19th? Whatever day it was, ciao. He got caught, and he fucking killed himself, which I wish he would have just done that from the beginning. But what was that man's name? I know it was like Steve Stevens. Is that what his name was?
I don't know.
Yes, Steve Stevens was his name. And he was going around, he was mad at his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, whatever she was to him. He was mad about her and his mom not calling him or something, mainly his ex-wife, and was just like going on this fucking spree of what he says that he killed about 15 people. We only know of one that was done on Facebook Live, which that is an issue within itself that I want to discuss later. But he went around killing everybody on Facebook, or killing this person on Facebook Live. This elderly man, I think he was like in his 70s. just walked up to this man and told him to say his ex-wife's name. I forgot her name, but told him to say her name. He says it like, okay, what the fuck? And he's like, she's the reason you're gonna die today. And just puts the gun up. The old man he had like a bag in front of his face. He like puts up and just point blank shoots him in the damn head. Just man bodies drop, walks over back to his car, and just starts calling his friends and shit like ain't nothing wrong. Telling his friends what he just did, and he didn't kill like 15 people. This ain't the first time he did this. And it's because everybody brushes off his problems when he wants to talk about it and makes it feel like he's less than or his problems aren't important. And then he was like, if my mom or my wife doesn't, or my ex-wife doesn't call me, I'm just going to keep killing people until they do. And it was so annoying to me because if you feel this low that you that this person, like his ex-wife was his issue mainly. If you had an issue, I don't want to say go kill her, but go to her. Why did you go to some random motherfucker walking down the street and shoot him at point blank range when you're mad at somebody else? Like, and if you're that mad that you're going to ultimately kill yourself instead of getting caught, why don't you just do that? I hate when people go on a killing spree and then kill themselves in the end. Like, why didn't you just fucking do that?
Yeah.
If you wanted to be gone anyway, why didn't you just get that shit over with? Apparently the world don't want you in your eyes. So go ahead and get that shit over with so you don't murder other people.
I definitely think that's awful. You know, I heard about it on the news and things like that, and people have been talking about it at work, like in the break room and things. And there's another reason why, because I planned on talking about mental illness on this episode, and that's another reason why. And because clearly something was wrong with him also. But
yeah, something's clearly wrong with this man. Like, it was bizarre. Just like sitting there watching him talk and his reasoning behind what he was doing. Clearly he had a mental issue. And I can only assume maybe that's why the lady, I forget, but again, his ex-wife, whatever her name is, I can only assume that maybe that played a part in what the issue was. He just kept on saying that she stressed him out and had him going in and gambling and things. And it always irritates me. He was like, nobody made you do anything, sir. You did that on your fucking own. And that was another thing, because on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, people were talking about how it was her fault that he went out and killed those people, because if she was a better girlfriend or a better wife or anything like that, he wouldn't have done this. And it's like, don't blame her. Yeah, she was at fucking work.
And it's awful. You know, I'm a strong believer in every person, every individual has the right to their own self-destruction. I mean, it's his right to kill himself. If that's what he chooses to do, that's his body, that's his life. If you want to kill yourself, I mean, I don't recommend it. But if you go kill yourself, if that's your decision, that's you. But it is not your right to go out killing people just because you can't handle the world. And I wish he would have gotten help before it got to that point. But he probably never even thought that he could possibly have a mental illness or anything wrong with him. He probably thought that he was completely sane and everybody else was crazy.
He probably thought he was perfect.
Yeah, he probably thought that he was fine and thought everybody else was crazy.
I really want to commend the person that got him caught ultimately, because it was some guy at McDonald's in what was it Philadelphia he got caught in, somewhere away from where he lived originally in Ohio. But I remember it was saying that he went to McDonald's and the employee was like holding him up so the police could catch up to him, and was like, oh, your fries aren't done. And I can only assume that he kept saying that so much and it's taken so long that the Steve Stevens was like, okay, this is suspicious, and drove the fuck off, but ultimately got caught after that. But I commend that man, because I feel like that was dangerous due to the fact that if he is already going around killing people, if you had came to him one more time and told him, like, your fries aren't ready, and he was like, I know you're trying to get me caught, and just takes his gun out and shoots your ass, I just feel like it was really dangerous to do that. But I commend him on actually getting that set up. And people are talking about does that employee deserve to get the $50,000, I think it was, for catching him? Does he deserve that reward because he wasn't the one that got him caught? But I'm like, yes, he was. Like, no one else gave a tip for that. There should be no fucking argument. Talking about he should get a lifetime supply of McDonald's. I was like, he don't want no fucking McDonald's. He don't want no goddamn lifetime supply of McDonald's. He already worked there.
This is a quick one. Julia Roberts is named People's World's Most Beautiful Woman of 2017. And I love Julia Roberts, but I don't think she's anybody's most beautiful anything. She's acceptable. I would not call her beautiful. I'm sorry. Now I love
Really?
her. I love Julia Roberts, but I never found her beautiful. Now, she's pretty. I'll give her that. But the word beautiful, the word gorgeous, when you're saying the most beautiful woman in the world, I mean, that carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't just roll that
It
around. You know,
But at the same time, it's very subjective because what's beautiful to you may not be beautiful to me.
that's
and so
all
on and so
cute.
forth.
That's all
So
cute.
I don't
and
understand how they
dandy,
bring this up
but
anyway.
beautiful, most beautiful is something that a lot of people would have to agree upon, and I don't think a lot of people would agree that Julia Roberts is the most beautiful.
And usually what happens with, well, what I think at least, when they name somebody the most beautiful, I think is mainly based on popularity. But I can't think of anything that I've seen Julia Roberts do that would boost her popularity.
It has something to do. Oh, they've been big at this moment. I mean, like when Ryan Reynolds and and people like that, like Jennifer Lopez or whatever, they were huge at the time when they got it. Like they were really like all over the place in social media and things like that. But I haven't really seen Julia Roberts, so I just wonder. It's like that comes out of nowhere for me, for them to pick Julia Roberts like when she's like almost 50 or something. Which is nothing wrong with that because there's some gorgeous like 50-year-old women.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like Julia Roberts though.
I'm
I
looking
would
at the
accept Sarah
magazine
Jessica
cover.
Parker before Julia Roberts.
Oh, child. But the thing is with Jessica, what is her name again?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah
I
Jessica
know that
Parker.
nobody would want her.
Yeah, because a
nobody
lot
would
of
want
people
her.
always call her ugly, but she is fucking stunning to me. Like she is visually just so stunning to me when I look at her.
The thing is, I can see why some people don't find her attractive. I can see it. But it's like, it's something about her. It's just her that I find gorgeous,
Her,
I think.
and her whole package is just
her
beautiful.
essence.
Yes.
Yeah, her essence. But the thing that's most striking to me about her is her eyes.
Yes.
I absolutely love those eyes, especially when they get smoked out.
And she does that a lot. Has a little smoky eye going on. Them blue eyes just be giving you everything that you need in life, especially in Sex and the City. Like when I rewatch some of those episodes in the movies, I'm just like, oh girl, I could just stare at you this whole fucking movie. But I'm looking at the magazine cover for People right now, and I look at just gazing at the top of it, and it's like Caitlyn Jenner reveals all her secrets. I'm like, what secrets does this bitch have left?
What
like, is
secret?
this a joke?
That she still has a penis?
Right? Yeah,
what's the secret?
Like, bitch, what else could you possibly be hiding? Could you please tell me what this is?
Lord Jesus. But, don't get me wrong. I just want to put it out there. I love Julia Roberts. I've been following her for years. I've watched so many of her movies. Whatever. I just don't agree that she's the most beautiful woman in the world. Shoot me.
I wouldn't agree with it either, to be quite honest. But I will say that I do think she's beautiful. But first, she has a lot of teeth in this picture of her smiling.
She's always had a lot of teeth. She has a gorgeous smile. I give her
She
that.
does.
Love her smile. She has nice lips. And she's photogenic. But most beautiful? No.
My last, what the fuck is it called? My last case is just about this YouTube hack that went down. Have you seen anything about that?
A YouTube what now?
This YouTube hack?
Oh, I don't know anything about that.
It wasn't so much a YouTube hack as it was, so do you know what an MCN is? Multi-channel network?
No.
Okay, so a lot of the bigger YouTubers, like I think you have to cross a certain amount of subscribers and views for an MCN to really contact you. But they'll contact you and they'll take generally it's about a 40% of your earnings from YouTube. They'll take that and they'll help market your videos and they'll help market them. They will do certain things, they'll make it easier for you with your YouTube, with titling them sometimes, or your descriptions and just the algorithms that YouTube works with. Yeah, essentially shit like that. So there's this one that happened. It's called Studio 71. That's the MCN's name. So a lot of people that I actually subscribe to are with them. Like there's this one lady named like Superwoman. Then you have like Nicola Foti, or I forgot what his actual YouTube name is. Miles J, who I love and hate at the same time. A lot of these people, a lot of these people are under that MCN, and that MCN got hacked by a group called Our Mine, MINE. They hacked into Studio 71 and got a lot of the YouTubers' information. They didn't get anything like passwords or anything, but they were just able to get into their accounts and post things like they changed like several of their video titles and the description. So the video titles will all say hashtag our mine, and then it will be like a YouTube link, and it says read the description. And then you go to the description and it says, hey, it's our mine. Don't worry, we are just testing your security. Please contact us for more information. And then they give their contact information and say, the biggest hack in YouTube history. And I don't understand the point of this. Like, you're talking about you're testing out somebody's security. How about you contact them and do this with them instead of surprising the bitch? Because what you did was you went into a lot of these people's YouTube titles, and a lot of people's clicks on YouTube mainly come from their titles. Like, you have to make sure you have a good title to get a lot of good clicks and things like that. The description doesn't matter as much, but your title is definitely very relevant. And so you changing that kind of fucks up the algorithm of YouTube, and like when people do searches and things like that. So all of that was changed, and the Studio 71 had to tweet out and let all their people know that we're trying to get this worked on. They secured everything the way they needed to secure it, and now they had to work through getting all these people's titles fixed. And I just feel like that would be a fucking nightmare to go through. Because a lot of the YouTubers that I followed that were like, they would just hop on Twitter like, so why did I just get hacked? And like, we're thinking that they were the only ones. And I just felt like these hackers that go around doing stupid shit like this, I don't see their point. Yeah, you can hide behind this vein of, we're just testing your security. But I feel like there's a better fucking way to test a company's security than to fucking mess with people's money like this. I feel like that was really just unnecessary as fuck in my opinion.
I don't even know what to really think about that. I think it's retarded and stupid, and these people definitely should sue these people, because I don't for a second believe that they did it for security measures. I think they just did it just to fuck with them. I have one more topic. So the chief of science at Facebook, his name is Michael
The chief
Abrish.
of science?
Yeah, he's like a chief scientist at Facebook, I guess, to help with new technology and things like that.
Okay.
His name is Michael Abrish, whatever. He predicts that in 2022, smartphones will officially become glasses. So I guess he thinks about
like glasses that you put on, or like a glass that you would hold?
like eyeglasses, like regular glasses,
Okay.
like, you know, like we wear, like both our blind houses wear. So basically they're augmented reality glasses, because you know, like right now everybody's getting into the virtual reality. So virtual reality basically takes you out of reality into like this surreal reality, which would be whatever you're playing, a video game, watching a movie, or whatever. So the augmented reality is basically enhancing the reality around you. So what he's saying, some of the things that it would do is it would enhance the wearer's memory. It would instantly translate foreign languages, like foreign signs that you see. Same like if you're like in Italy and you're reading a sign in Italian, it would instantly translate that for you.
Don't get me started on Italy.
Now, one thing that I think a lot of people would enjoy is that it would mute distracting conversations nearby. That means that some bitches are talking that you don't want to hear. And it says it would even read a baby's temperature at a single glance. And I'm like, well, how about that? You know, it's just, it's interesting. I feel like I don't know how realistic it sounds. And now I believe they've already invented like a camera lens that's actually like a contact lens in your eye. So yeah, I've seen that they've already developed that. So with those developments, if they can put a camera in your motherfucking eye, why not? I don't know if I trust it. But what if, because at the time when the iPhone and the Samsung, the new ones that came out, and they were like catching on fire and shit, and I just wonder, like, what are the contacts?
Started flat out exploding.
Yeah, and like, what are the contacts got on fire in your eye? It'd be fucked up, man.
I did want to say though, because somebody had asked me about it in the last episode when we did our little sponsor thing, our little commercial. Those are not real people. I felt like
somebody thought that was real.
Yes. The things that I said in it, I purposely tried to make it comedic so that they wouldn't believe it's real, but somebody thought it was, and I ain't trying to get sued. So, these little commercials that we do for quote-unquote sponsors are just little fake things. What we do is, throughout the week, we'll find out, like, we're going to do it, like, I'll do one week, Kimo will do another week. But we'll see, like, our favorite thing. We'll pick something, our favorite thing for that week, and we'll make a commercial about it. Just to be kind of funny and cute, whatever. It ain't real, though. We ain't getting paid.
No, we aren't getting no coins, but we do not turn down offers. So just to put the disclaimer out there, if you do want to sponsor us, hit up that
Go
inbox.
right the fuck ahead.
Hit up that inbox. Whose dick do you have to suck to get a sponsor? God damn it.
Child, tell me, because I will go do it for you.
Bitch. No.
Anyway, child. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this podcast. We are doing this every Friday. So you can go ahead and tune in, subscribe. Do you subscribe on SoundCloud?
Yeah, you do. You
subscribe.
subscribe.
Go ahead and subscribe.
Hey, and if they have any way that you can get notifications on your email so that you can be the first to know. The first, because I know you want to be the first to know.
But yeah, hopefully you guys are all enjoying this. We will see you guys next week where we have more bullshit to talk about. Bye, dolls. Say bye, Kimo.